Yeah, this podcast kind of sucked.
Okay, welcome back to the Encore Club podcast season 3. Today, let's get straight into it. Today, I am joined by, well, he's um, kind of exists in the world of kind of pop punk, alt rock, blending early 2000s nostalgia with modern production and massive hooks. Known for high energy tracks, emotional lyrics, and a sound that feels like the soundtrack to growing up. He writes, produces, and releases his own music, building his career independently while keeping that classic pop punk attitude alive. His music mixes big choruses, punchy guitars, and lyrics about relationships, growing up, and not always having your life together. He's been part of the UK alternative scene for years, working with different artists across the board. We'll get into that a little bit later because there's some big names in there. Producing music and developing his own sound. And today, he is here to build his own dream concert. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Walwin. Walwin, mate, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, what an intro, man. That's crazy. I love it.
There
I
you go.
love it.
I'll tell you what, the last person, obviously we're just saying that you're from Essex, but I've interviewed a couple of guys from bands in Australia.
hmm
I don't know if you know them. There's a band called Friends of Friends.
No, I've
Uh,
not heard of them yet, but the scene out here is mad. There's so many bands I'm still getting into out here.
there's, you know what? I obviously being over here, we don't get to hear a lot of what's going on
Mm.
over there. But like, I've been pleasantly surprised with the acts that they're kind of like publicists and stuff around my way. And I had a guy called Barnaby Baker on the show. He's got a British dad, I think. So
Oh,
he's got
yeah.
British ties. Um, but he, his music is like punkier 1975, and good
Yeah.
man. But yeah, the scene out there is crazy. Also, Warren, just quickly, I'm just gonna wave here and here. I've got 2 cameras there and you right there, so I'm
Hey,
I'm 3 cameras. If I talk over here or over there, I
I love
am
it.
just speaking to some other people, basically.
Mate, I love a multi-camera setup that is
Hey.
professional as hell. Like, I dig it. I dig it.
Nice, right. So you've been around the alternative pop punk scene for a while,
A little bit.
a little bit. But what's the first band that made you think I want to do this? Like, not just listen to it, I want to be a part of it.
Oh, man. Do you know what? It all stems from that fucking Spider-Man, Nickelback and
Shut up!
Saliva.
Really?
That video, yeah, dude. I was like just about to start year 7 and they made me like fill out some form that was like, oh, do you want to do guitar lessons or like musical instrument, whatever thing? And it just happened to be on the TV and I was obsessed with that movie, with that song. And I was like, yo, this looks sick. This looks I just wanted to play guitar, man. I was just jumping in like for a laugh and then met some kids at my school who also played. And then we just, yeah, man, we just took it from there. Like it was just fun. It was just very, very fun. And I just think learning a musical instrument, learning a skill at that age was just so beneficial for me. And then, mate, I had no idea where it was leading. I had no idea where all this was going. But yeah, it was just good vibes, honestly. So it was like all that, and then like Nickelback and Saliva and Limp Bizkit. Basically, anyone who was involved in WWF, WWE in like the early 2000s, it was all there, mate. I was into like Motorheads and all these like
I love it.
random old school bands just purely through like entrance music and soundtracks. And then you just start discovering that there's this genre going on by itself, just independently. Because I think at that point it was just whatever the 2000s was giving me, that's what I was listening to. So like Spice Girls, Eminem, like whatever was just popular. And then yeah, it was like wrestling, got me into like the heavier stuff, the harder stuff. And I'd say first actual like CD I bought when I was 10 was Linkin Park Hybrid Theory. That like started it. But I think at that point I still didn't even really connect that this is like rock music or this is something you can play or make yourself. I was just like, this just slaps. It was just banging. Like the concept of making music myself didn't really enter my mind until I saw that video and it just happened to be like I was literally filling out a form and it was like, yeah, I'll take guitar lessons. Um, but yeah, man, that was really it. It was like from them times, from all like the old entrance music and that, and then oh man, fucking emo when that when that started coming about. Oh yeah, that was it. That was it.
Yeah. I think we've probably got quite a similar come up in terms of like genres that we like and stuff. Those so like Linkin Park are again for me one of the bands that kind of got me started and stuff like
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
and like
That's
but
a
just
nice
built.
collection back there actually. I didn't really clock it, but like
This is all the bands that
yeah, we got Louder
made.
Now.
Yeah,
Hell
man.
yeah.
You know what? I'd love to get Adam on. Like that's I'm hammering away at his, but their management is so tight, and you can't like it's hard to break into them. So
They're like I don't know, they're up there. I think like it will be a good chat, but they're up there in them bands that are just like they've done their thing. I don't think they're really trying to chat to too many people. Like they're just like, yo,
no, I've
we
noticed.
do
Yeah,
us and we're like, yeah, but yeah, it was like I was in a band called Page. Yeah, 2011. Yeah, and what was interesting was those guys were a few years older than me. And in emo, I feel like because it was the start of it, it was moving so quickly. So the like 5, 6 year age gap I had with the rest of the members was enough that I was talking about like You Me at Six and We Are the Ocean and all these new bands.
yeah,
And they were like, "Nah, mate, Taking Back Sunday and Cartel and like all these just a couple years. It like emo pop punk was so different. So being around those guys got me to listen to like some of the quote unquote older stuff that were like older by like literally 2 or 3 years. But yeah, then I went through a massive Taking Back Sunday phase that I was just like, oh, I missed out on this amazingness. Cause like I remember Make Damn Sure and Liar were the ones that Kerrang were just smashing on
yeah,
loop.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
was like, cool, into those tracks like them. But then, yeah, the boys in the band got me into like the Louder Now album, New Again, and like all that. Yeah, it was just crazy. It was crazy. Like I just missed out on the whole era by a couple of years, but then sort of went back, rediscovered it, and there was like something corporate and bands like that that just kind of like were at that level.
yeah.
Um, but I had a really funny experience actually with Mayday Parade at Slam Dunk. We ended up, mate, it was crazy. We ended up on the Slam Dunk lineup like last minute
Nice.
because American band pulled out because of like visa issues or something. So Ben Ray, the owner, literally like called us and was like, "Can you jump into the lineup?" Like it was like the next day or something crazy. But long story short, we got there and I remember chatting to Mayday Parade. I saw them and I was just like freaking out. And they were like, "Yo, did you see our set earlier?" I was like, "Look, I'm gonna be completely honest. You guys clashed with Taking Back Sunday, and I've seen you guys like 10 times at this point, and I've never seen them, so I had to watch the Taking Back Sunday set in it." And they were like,
That's fair.
"Look," I was like, well, "Yeah," it was like, we get it. Do you know what? That's actually fair enough." So so that was validation that I made the right choice, and it was incredible. And not to go on the Taking Back Sunday tangent, but what was special about that gig was that they did um a song called Existentialism on Prom Night by Stray Light Run, which was John Nolan's band that he left to make. So they like covered it as Taking Back Sunday, and I was like, I never thought I'd hear that song live ever. So yeah, it was
Is this when I take
that
it
was a
John's
sick
back in
time.
the I take it John was back in the band by this point, yeah? This is the after
Yeah,
the
this is
return.
when yeah. This was that 2012 Slam? Yeah, it was 2012 Slam Dunk was when
I
John
was there.
Nolan was back in the band. Who else? I can't remember, but, yeah, it was just that gig, that whole, like, that slam dunk, that will always be number 1 for me. Also, we got to play it, so that's pretty sick, but
Mate,
just
honestly, I would
lineup-wise.
so Slam Dunk, just to give you a bit of history on me, Slam Dunk is my favourite festival. Like, I go
Yeah.
every year without fail. Last year I was lucky enough to do press, so I was backstage,
Nice.
I was interviewing like Wargasm and like Hot Mulligan were backstage. I've interviewed South Arcade, like
Amazing.
fucking lovely people. And I'm desperate to go back this year. Like, press or not, I haven't bought tickets, but the lineup, like there is some bands on there. I mean, we've got Taking Back Sunday coming back to do Louder Now with Fred. Like,
Fuck. Alright. Mate, oof. Will I fly
it's
back
gonna
for
be
that?
big.
Is that that's the question. That
The
sounds
thing
really
is,
good.
so it's Good Charlotte headlining, and like it's got some
Damn.
heavy hitters. It's
They've
got some heavy.
always been good. The one thing about Slam Dunk is that they've always had their finger on the pulse in terms of the lineup. I don't think there's ever been that discussion of, it's out of touch. Like the way they talk about Glastonbury and Reading, they're like, oh, okay, another old man headliner. Once again, I feel like Slam Dunk has consistently, from what I've seen, like, look, in general, I'm just not really a going out gig kind of person. I had my time in the early 20s and then I don't know, man, the indoors are sick, innit? But like every now and again, I'll come out for a gig. Like I got tickets to Hot Mulligan. They're coming here next month.
Nice.
Um and yeah, just like when friends do shows, I'll go out to that, but I don't go to heaps of shows and festivals or anything. But the last slam dunk I went to was 2022. Um, I had some friends who got us in, and it was like, yeah, man, it's still the lineup was banger after banger. Like all the bands were like, I had all my current bands, and then you had some like historic bands, like you had like Death of Anna were playing and Sum 41 and this. And I was like, cool. There's always been a good mix of like people I want to see versus people I've always wanted to see. So yeah, shout out to Slam Dunk. Like that's not me trying
Mm.
to glaze it up to try and get on a lineup or anything. I understand. I don't really tour that much, so like I'm never really surprised when I don't get like festival bookings or like tour bookings or anything because I don't play that much. Like I did so much touring in my 20s and I was just lucky. I just like the slam dunk thing. Every single like big tour I've done has just been falling into it, right place, right time. And it's like, oh, how do you peak that? Like how like there's like I'm like, yeah, I've been lucky enough to do a couple of things that I'm like, ooh, that's very hard to peak. Um, but then the trade-off is just the way the industry is. They really want to make you sweat for it. They're like, oh, do you want it? Yeah, like you've had a taste of it now. Like, how bad do you want it? And I'm literally just like, I'm so good. Like, I'm so chill. Um, but yeah, you don't get those things when you don't like sweat for it. Like, I've lived in a van, I've done all that. Like, it's long. I ain't trying to do it really, but they're
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ones that get. But to say that, I appreciate that the bands that are doing that, that are constantly on the road, whilst also making content and while putting out bangers, that I still see them on the slam dunk lineups and stuff. Like my friends as December Fools, they've been working hard for time. So to see them getting some nice like festival slots and that, like it's good. It's good. It shows you that it does pay off. You just need to put in a lot. You got to do a lot to get to that big
yeah,
level.
yeah. I feel that. So let me ask you this then: if Slam Dunk call you up tomorrow, right, and they're like,
Mhm.
all right, we can't pay you, but we'll cover your flight.
Oh,
What are you
yeah.
saying?
Oh,
Fair.
mate, if flights are covered, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, like that's the thing. Like the best stuff I've done, I don't think I've been paid for. Like maybe a couple of, oh, well, it depends on people's perception of best or whatever, but like whenever I go through like, interviews and podcasts and stuff and they list off all like the best things I've done or the most popular people I've worked with, it's always been like, oh, that was cool, but like that was hey, this is so big that, we can't pay you for it. It's like that kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
I don't think we didn't get paid for Slam Dunk. Uh I didn't get paid for, I went on an arena tour. We didn't make any money on that. Um, yeah, so the no fee doesn't stress me. It's like, okay, who am I playing with? Like, the coolest thing about Slam Dunk is it's like a sick day out, but also like you get to play a set as well. So like when we played, we were on first at the London date, and then the Leeds date we were in like the middle of the day or something. So both of
Nice.
them I got to like like basically like we played the set, and then you have a free pass to the rest of Slam Dunk. So you're just vibing, you're chilling. So that's worth the whatever
100%.
small payment they're giving to the band. I'd say that's worth it.
100%, 100%. And like, yeah, it's I was saying this to I did a podcast last night with a DJ, and I was telling him about Slam Dunk. Big advocate for it, obviously. I just said like you just don't get festival crowds as nice as like essentially
Mm.
alternative punters because like you don't get piss thrown at you. Everyone fucking loves just being there. You're all the
Mhm.
same. You all fucking love this music, and
Yeah.
it's just such a vibe. And like when we went last year, we released a YouTube video covering the whole event, all our interviews, and then a couple of the acts. And it's the first time I saw Electric Cool Boy, and
Yeah.
honestly, that was life change. That was a mad gig. Like the amount of confetti that those boys use is insane.
They're so good, man. That's a band I'd probably like go out of my way to see. Like if they
Mm.
came over, I'd probably watch it. I dreamed up a version of them like years ago in my head. I was like, but like crazy. I was like, we need like some kind of metal that's also like uh dance workout session like kind of thing. I was like, imagine you go to like a gig and there's just a bunch of yoga mats on the floor, but it's like a band and everyone's just fucking working out. Cause I'm like, that's what Electric Callboy sets feel like to me. I'm like, you can put this in aerobics class and we're just hitting it.
100%.
But I love that they bring that to their show. Like they got all the madness, like they got the stage presence, the confetti. Like it's just fun. That's what I mean. Like it's fun doing all that. And I think for so long I was just seeing bands that they ain't providing that. They ain't giving nothing that's like, okay, you enjoy being here, so I'm gonna enjoy being here. I didn't see that from bands for a very long time. So I think that's what kind of like deaded the live scene for me a little bit. Um, but yeah, like you say, just alternative crowds in general, like we bring it. Like it's got there's something to it. And I think it's that to get into the music, you genuinely need to have that passion for it and have that like just love for music, which I think is lost in like pop and other genres that you'll get at like your Reddings and Glastonbury's and that. It's just who made the most money this year, who's the most popping, like let's just get them on the lineup. And it's like, yeah, cool, but a lot of these artists don't have established fan bases that are used to being around each other and like understand like mosh pit etiquette and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, so you just cram 100,000 people that really haven't been to many gigs before. And that's why Reading's just craziness now. Like Reading's just like my friends that have gone to it, they've just gone like, "Yeah, it's not what it used to be, like, it's just mental because there's more." Like, the alternative artists that are out today are just it's just pop. It's pop with a bit more guitar. So the
Yeah.
fan base is like, again, a pop crowd that's not that friendly alternative crowd that we're used to. Um, so that's what I'm trying to pull it back, man. I'm trying to bring it back to when punk was very unifying and very welcoming and all accepting. And I think we just lost that because the passion went out the window because it was just all about making money. It was like as soon as emo and pop punk and metal, like metalcore bands are getting in the charts and everything, like look at Bring Me, Architects, like these are all sick bands doing well, but there's bare people just hanging on the bottom that are just like, oh, I want a bit of that. Yeah, we'll add a bit of screaming and we'll be, yeah, yeah, we'll get to where like Architects are. And it's like the the feeling behind it's been lost. It's been gone for so long. So that's what I'm trying to bring back, man. Like not every song is gonna be mad political and angry and shouty, but I want to say something. I just want to tell a story. My whole thing is I'm a storyteller. Like all of my songs might not have the best riff, it might not have the best production or whatever, but I always feel like I tell the best story. Uh have a way of just describing what's around me and what I'm going through. And I think that was such a lost art in alternative music because pop is just like, hey, we're having a good time. Here's some buzzwords and a cool
Yeah.
beat. And somehow they just got into alternative and just flipped it. Cause now, like, bro, like the metalcore and pop punk and everything, like all like the cool genres that are buzzing right now, there's so many good songs. There's so many bangers and hits, but I'm like, what do you want to like? What have you said? What have you done? Like, there's nothing. You've brought nothing new to the table. I heard Atreyu doing the same song 10 years ago. I heard the Bullet doing the same thing you're doing, and they've just repackaged it. Or Deftones. Everyone's just Deftones now, and it's like, yeah, but do you see why Deftones were special? Do you see like what Chino was doing, like with his voice and everything? And it's like you're just trying to copy that, but you've not given me anything new. So, bro, that's why I had to go away and write an album. I had to leave the country and free my mind and discover what I actually wanted to say. Because, like I said, it's just all about the stories that we tell. And I think alternative artists have such a good way of telling stories and putting their point across. Uh, but we're not using it. We're not doing it enough.
No, agreed, mate. Agreed. Like, yeah, yeah. It's definitely becoming saturated because of the kind of pop element that's being introduced. So, I have to ask though,
It's yeah, go on.
what what's your thoughts on President?
I thought like the actual president or the band. I was like, how political are we getting
I
early?
mean, we can talk about Trump if you want, but I'm talking not Charlie Simpson, but probably Charlie Simpson, President.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Look, they're sick. They got good songs. It's good bangers. But I'm like, yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that one that makes them stand out and makes me that like proper draws me in.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I don't look, the obvious comparison would be Sleep Token. I'd say the most similar sounding, looking, feeling band would be them. So if you put them side by side, I guess point one is just time. Sleep Token have been around longer, so I've had more to buy into. There's the
sure.
whole Sleep Token lore behind it all and all that kind of stuff and everything. And like, just the imagery slaps, the song slap, just everything's there. And I feel like President is like, look, here's the thing. People that say like it's like ripping off whatever, da da da. There's an interview with Charlie years ago where he was like, if I was to do the music that I actually wanted to do, like away from Busted, away from Fight Star, even his folk stuff, he was like, if I was to properly dive into like metalcore, it would just be completely anonymous. Like we probably wear masks or something. Like, so he did say that before, and then it is what it is. Like bands just come to the same conclusion. You can't grow up in the same world, in the same environment, and not be influenced by the same stuff. So I don't doubt that President and Sleep Token have come to the same conclusion with the same influences. I just think Sleep Token have been around longer, so they've made more of a mark on it. So it's
Yeah.
harder to kind of like bring something. I think what Sleep Token have done, which is really genius, is the lore and the again storytelling. They have a story like who is this entity Sleep, and why does he worship and give offerings and all this kind of stuff. Like that's sick. Like I don't think we've really dove into the lore of President just yet. But the imagery's sick, the songs slap. They've got one called Destroy Me. That's just yeah, that was on loop a lot. But like I said, with the majority of alternative music now, it's just bangers. It's just like, cool, I like it, I'm bopping to it, but I'm not I ain't putting it on my skin. I ain't buying
Yeah,
merch or nothing just yet. But like, it's there, it's good, it's good.
I like that. That's I think I've asked that question a few times about different bands, and I feel like people have a tendency when they come on podcasts to give a bit of a bog standard kind of what's it called? Like a publicity answer kind of thing. And it's like yeah, like the kind of raw, kind of uncut, like, yeah, no, this is realistically what I actually feel about it. So that's
Yeah,
nice.
it's mate, like fuck media trading, man. Like it's just long. Like I came on the podcast smoking a joint. Like we don't this is me. Like this is we have to start being honest with ourselves as artists, as even as like consumers of music. I feel like we just like songs get popular and then we're like, oh yeah, let me jump onto this and jump onto that. I was like, nah, the more we start it sounds proper cheesy and hippie, but just actually being ourselves and just like actually being into what am I actually into? Like, what do I like? And your mate, it's going to open up your world to so many different artists and different music. Like, once you actually start doing that. And as a creative, once I started doing that, bro, the songs are just falling out of me and the content's just falling out of me. Like bands ask me for advice all the time on what content do I need to make? Like how can I promote my songs? Like, bruv, like you wrote it. Like you wrote the song. You should know what the story is behind it. You should know
Yeah,
what you want people to know about it. So I think it's just it manifests itself in everything. So me giving you an answer on the music that I like is going to be as honest as the music that I'm giving you. Like I'm not holding stuff back. We're not using metaphors or clever language. It's just here's my story. Here it is. Boom.
nice, nice, yeah. Okay, so look, that leads me on, I guess, to a slightly different question, slightly different direction of question, and I guess it's like, do you remember the first time you heard a song where you're like, okay, I fucking wish I wrote that?
Mm, that's a good, yeah, that's a good question. I don't, ooh, I mean, it's again that could be that's an intricate one because it's I think that can be a very genuine feeling. It can also be a kind of fleeting one or maybe like a masked one. It could just be I'm trying to think if what I felt in that moment was just admiration for someone else's thing
It's
or
fair.
if there's been a time where I've been like fuck, like I wish I had that. Like the first, the first one that comes to mind is probably like when I first heard You Me at Six. Um, Something about the way Josh Franceschi wrote the first like album, the first set of EPs. We just write in a very similar way. Like,
Mm.
just the melody patterns he used and stuff. There was, like, some song, what was it? Whoa, 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 whoa. What was that song? It was off Take Off Your Colours. I can't remember it. But literally, just that whoa pattern, I wrote the exact same pattern for the band that I was in at the time. And I was like, who's this guy? He's taken my lick. But like, we just, it's a very standard, like, pop punk melody, and just the kind of like melismas and vocal runs that he would do. Yeah, there are lots of You Me at Six songs that I was like, oh fuck, like I could have written that, or I was very close to writing that one. That sounds like something I would be very close to doing. Or if I was in that band and I was singing these songs, I'd be having the best time because this fits into my range. I think that's what it was. Like, I heard You Me at Six, and that was probably the first time I was like, I don't think I'm that far off. I don't think I'm that far away from being on these guys' level. And I think that's what I spent a lot of time chasing, was trying to get on their level, like in terms of production. I worked with the same producers as them. It was a guy called Matt O'Grady and Ben Humphreys, John Mitchell, who did like Take Off Your Colours and Hold Me Down as well. And it was like, yeah, just to try and get closer to that sound and just understand like their writing patterns and stuff and all that. But the 20, oh shit, yeah, almost 20-year journey was discovering that it's more than that. It's everything. Like, they were just being themselves, and that's how it sounded that way. And I just had to figure out what being myself meant was. But to answer your question, yeah, I'd say, I'm trying to think of a specific one. I don't know, like Save It for the Bedroom was like the first You Me at Six song that I properly like jammed. But yeah, like one of them, or Fall Out Boy as well. The fact that he had like quite a soulful voice and was
Mm.
using it in pop punk, that was another thing that I was like, oh fuck. Like, that's cool. Like, I wish I'd thought of that, because I grew up on a lot of soul and R&B from my mom. And when I found pop punk, it was just like, oh, we're gonna do like the whiniest voice possible. And like fucking, actually, for the longest time I had like this gnarly like Eddie Vedder style voice, again because of that like Chad Kroger, Nickelback,
Yeah.
Saliva shit. Like, all the resting music was like, yeah, yeah, me too. And it was like every song was just, I just thought you needed to have that voice to like to sing any song. Um, so when I was like 15, every song just sounded like that, and it was mad. And then we just went like full whiny. But then hearing Patrick Stump, I was like, oh, he's putting like some of that spiciness into it. Um, so yeah, probably like those bands. And then the one that happened recently, going back to Sleep Token, was Caramel, because they just put that cheeky little Afro beat in it. And
Yeah.
bro,
Yeah.
as an African that makes pop punk and alternative music, I was just like, if there's ever a way to bring the two worlds together, like I need to be that. But Vessel beat me to it, and I hold my hands up and say that they did an amazing job of just that little, oh man, it's such a nice little like
It's
mix
a
of that
beautiful
beat in
song,
there. So
Caramel.
nice.
Yeah,
But
I've
yeah,
heard
they did it. They did it. So yeah, that's probably the most recent one that I've gone, I wish I did that. Um but I'm glad they did it, and I can loop it as much as I want.
there you go. There you go. What was the first gig you ever went to?
Oh, like, okay, like gig was just like a local,
I'm
um
talking big name.
like big gig. Oh, do you remember Give It a Name?
Mate.
Do you remember that?
They were like my first like day festivals that I'd go to back when like Paramore were
Yeah.
just coming out and Panic just started. And
Dude, we might
yeah.
have been at the same one. That was the one at Earl's
Earl's
Court,
Court. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
2005 or 6. Yeah, I remember my girlfriend at the time was like, "Oh yeah, we want to get there early. There's this band Paramore," and I was like, "Who the fuck?" Like, I don't know. Dickhead, absolute dickhead. And then I got home and I was like, "Oh, this is my favorite band now. Like, this is the best band in the world." And I felt like such a dickhead because like I didn't get into them before the gig, so like I loved the gig, but I was like, if I had known these songs before, like I would have, because this is like all we know is Falling era, and they
Let
don't
this
play these
go and that
songs at
thing.
all anymore. So you're like, yeah, they played a bunch of songs that they will never play live again, probably. But yeah, that was, I remember that was the first one because who is it? A bunch of mates were gonna go, and then they ended up bailing. So I just like, so I just had a ticket like by myself. And then the girl I ended up seeing was like there as well. So it ended up like being all right.
Nice.
But I just remember being like, yeah, Atreyu, Under Oath, Panic at the Disco, My Chemical Romance.
We're definitely at the same
Fuck.
gig, mate. Yeah, for sure.
It was wild. Absolutely wild, bro. Like, and Earl's Court as well. Like, that's just history. That's just absolute like British heritage right there, like in one package. Probably I'd say the only thing that would, in my eyes, beat Slam Dunk as a 1 day contained festival in the UK. Just because of nostalgia, I just think um Give It a Name just edges it out just a bit. But Slam Dunk has the legacy. They've been going for much longer than Give It a Name lasted. But I think the bones of Slam Dunk, they owe a lot to like Give It a Name when that was first going, man.
I was about to say, I
100%.
feel like Give It a Name was like the predated. It was like it was what Slam Dunk became. Like it led into it, fed into it massively.
1000%.
The dual stages as well, like having one
Yeah,
stage setting up
dude.
to one side whilst the other one's like mid
Bro,
gig.
you're bringing back so many memories, man. Yeah, like I've not thought about that gig in time. I've got Nah, bro. I have so much like nostalgia memorabilia that I need to bring back from the UK. I've got my Give It a Name ticket. I
Same.
went to 2005, 6 and 7. Did I go to 8? No, it must have been 6, 7 and 8 then, because I went to 3 and then I think that's when it dropped. That's when they cancelled it.
Mm.
Um But mate, I saw, yeah, seen some crazy, crazy lineups there. So that was like the first big. If we're going like all the way back, I was at Michael Jackson's concert when I was 6. So, so we'll like
You know,
we'll
that
put that in there
pops
as well.
up on this a lot. Like we get a lot of Michael Jackson being everyone's like first gig on here.
He ruled the world, bro. Like
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was. I don't know if people remember this. He had a statue that he sailed to the UK. Like he had a statue of himself that sailed along the Thames. Like who does that? Who like what are we talking
Yeah.
about? Like yeah, it was different leagues. And I remember like when a music video would come out, we'd all sit around the TV and it would be like a world premiere. And like it was like an event, like Michael Jackson's releasing a new video. Like it was, yeah, we just lived in different times. So I think you'll be very hard pressed to find an artist that's like around the age of like 30, 40-ish that didn't grow up in a Michael Jackson controlled world. Like it's, yeah, it'd be impossible.
Agreed. Yeah. 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 It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. I find it really crazy that, and like obviously I knew with you that we'd probably have a similar taste in music, but I'm 45 guests into this podcast, and like I've had like
I thought you were saying you're 45. I was like, you're looking good, bro.
no 36. We're getting there. We'll get there soon enough. Um,
Yeah.
but I've had yeah, like I had comedian Matt Richardson on, and
Oh,
wasn't
nice.
expect wasn't expecting him to turn around and be like, "Yeah, I was at Bullet in the Bible at Milton Keynes for the Green Day gig with like Taking Back Sunday and Hard Fight and Jimmy Eat
Hell
World."
yeah.
Yeah. Me too, bruv. Like we've all like intersected at some point, and like
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
it's mad. Um, okay, this is a question we ask literally everyone that comes on the podcast. Doesn't have to be someone famous. It can be someone famous. It's completely up to you. But we always ask, who is your biggest hero in life and why?
Ooh, biggest hero. I'm gonna give a fucking cheesy answer, ain't I?
Do it.
I'm gonna steal this answer from Mr. Matthew McConaughey. Um, my hero is me in 10 years' time. Um,
Ooh.
and the idea of that is that you never match up to your hero. Like you never reach that level. So me in 10 years is I have an idea of like who that guy is, like who I want to be. It can be a loose idea, but roughly like that guy who's doing well 10 years in the future, like that's my hero. So then come back to me in 10 years and be like, hey, so are you your hero yet? And I'm like, nah, like my hero's that guy in the next 10 years. So you're constantly like looking forwards and looking at who you want to be, how you want to shape the world. Um, so yeah, it's a recycled answer. It's a cheesy one, but it's one that when I heard it, I was like, yeah, do you know what? I like that. I like that
That
constant
fits.
aspiration of self. Um, Also, I make pop punk music. A lot of my heroes are on a register. So it's it's difficult, bro. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
no. Yeah. Yeah, man, you got to back yourself though, 100%. Like,
yeah, for
I
sure.
love that answer. Like, we've definitely never had that. We've had a couple of people who have flat out just said, "Me, I'm my biggest hero." Not like
Yeah.
no irony behind it whatsoever as well. Just like flat out, "Me, I'm the hero." Um, and you know what?
I
I'm here.
fuck with it. I fuck with it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, mate, why not? Like, if you are that confident in yourself, and to be fair, like the people I'm referring to are fucking, they're smashing it at the moment. Like, we were talking about like a guitarist influencer called Josh Rez, and he backed himself massively. And
Oh, you've had Josh on here? Fuck
I've
that
had Josh
dude.
on here.
I love that guy, man. He's so funny. He's so
He's
like
lovely guy as well, and actually
I
he
mean, yeah,
was
the
the
crazy guitarist. He's not just a funny guy. Like he's sick, but like the way he's been able to just like mix his content. I don't know. I just think he's fucking dope, man. He's awesome.
he did a video around Caramel, I think, where he's like
Mm.
jamming along to it and he's listening to lyrics. He just pauses it. He goes, "Who hurt you, Vessel? Who hurt you?" I was just like, "That is fucking. I need you on the podcast."
He's
Okay,
so good, man.
glad you know him. That's cool. Okay, cool. Well, when it's time to start setting the scene for your dream concert. So,
Let's do
uh,
it. Let's do it.
the way this works is we'll start off just talking about the venue and things like that, and then
Uh-huh.
I'll ask a few more like music-based questions. We'll probably play a few games throughout the rest of the episode, and
Hell yeah.
I will kind of prompt you when I need your act, kind of one by one, so we're not throwing them all out at once. But to
All
start
right.
off,
All right.
what venue are you going with? Now, this can be any venue in existence, or it
Mm-hmm.
could be completely made up. We've had Under the Northern Lights in the middle of the forest with no stage. We've
All
had
right.
beaches. We've had Glastonbury. What is your venue?
Ooh. Man, I love the creativity of artists. That's the cool thing about podcasts like these. Like you're speaking to some of the most creative people. I unfortunately, I am creative, but I'm more nostalgic, I think. And I
This
think
podcast
recognizing
hinges
that,
on both, so
yeah, I'm recognizing my nostalgia and the pitfalls of it. But for the sake of your question, we are going back to Essex and we are going to a venue called Mooney's, which was officially called the Orset Cock, and it is on the Stamford La Hope roundabout in Essex. And it's now an Indian restaurant, which which I haven't been to, but I'm sure they do lovely food. But that venue between like 2003 and 2006, that was it. I don't care who you were. the best bands played at that venue, and it was sick. Every night, I had my first gig there. Like, I've seen some of the best gigs of all time there, and bro, it probably wasn't much bigger than the room you're in now. It was a tiny little box in the middle of Essex, but it was a floor show. It was fucking like just kids crammed into a room. Like they didn't ID people. Like you were just like, everyone was getting in and it was just wildness. And it ran for a good couple of years before it got shut down. And that was just where that's where music was born, man. Honestly, for me, like that's where the vibes were at. If I could do anything to bring back that venue, like the bones are there, the building's still there, I think. So I don't know. But this is a fictional universe, so I can have Moonies back. But yeah, it was every Friday. It was like fucking £3 to get in, and you saw the craziest bands like just on a floor show. Like I remember we had an encore. What was it? Encore? Smells Like Teen Spirit, and just you got a little clean guitar intro. Then as soon as it kicked in, the mosh pit came into me. Like I'm there, like with my guitar, like what's going on? This is sick. But that was the best gig. That was the best gig. So yeah, venue, Moonies officially the Orsic Cock.
Amazing. Okay, awesome. Okay, so obviously going to Mooney's, that's all good. Who are you going with? Who are you taking to your dream gig?
Oh, like as like a night out kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like you're the audience member for this dream gig, and you can take anyone you want.
Hell yeah. All right. We're bringing the boys back together. It's me, Lou, Dan, Nath. We are going like the old band. We like, mate, we got a video of us doing Let the Bodies Hit the Floor
Oh, nice.
and Pull Harder by Trivium at our school assembly in year 11. And it's just chaos. It's chaos. Like Lewis is like screaming in like the teacher's face and everything. Like it's mad. So I'm like, yeah, man. These are the boys I just used to roll to Moonies with and that. And yeah, man, we just had a sick time. So it will be them. It will be them for sure.
Nice.
It's
Okay,
it's a boy.
sick.
It's a classic boys' night out, in it. Like
I love that.
everyone's all married. They're all like dads and shit. So we're like, yeah, we're just having an old school night out.
I love that. And do you drink, Walwin? Are you a drinker?
I just quit. I
Right.
just quit in November. Um, Purely for silly reasons. I was in hospital. I just had surgery on my Achilles, and no matter what you go in for, they make you answer a million questions like, "What do you do? What do you drink? Eat, smoke, drink, all that kind of stuff."
Yeah, yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, do you drink?" And I was like, "Just by chance. I just been busy. I just drink's not really. I have this, so I don't." I feel like everyone needs a vice. You need to have some. The world is crazy. You gotta have something. I'm not
Yeah.
saying go out and do the wildest shit, but everyone's got a thing. It can be chocolate, it can be wings, it can be like whatever, but you got your thing. And alcohol just wasn't doing it for me. I was like, nah, it's boring, bruv. And just having a good smoke, a nice chill. It's a ritualistic thing. You kind of just sit in your own space and just vibe and be one. And I was like, this is so much nicer. So sorry for the tangent. I was in
No,
hospital. They were like, do you drink? And I was like, not really, actually. So I feel like because it's on an official hospital form, I should stick to it. So
that's
I've
fair.
just been like, yeah. But I've been like caught out a couple of times. I was at this like little day festival thing the other day, and the band that invited us, they were like, "Hey, do you want some champagne and stuff?" And I was like, "Ooh," I was like, "Oh, I don't drink actually. I forgot." But usually when someone hands you champagne, you're just like, "Yeah," but nah, not anymore.
That's fair enough. Okay, so I was gonna ask what are you drinking there, but I'm gonna offer you something I've never offered before, and this is coming from someone who is an ex-smoker as well. So I'm doing this just for you all. Instead of a bar, what if I was to put in Mooney's a essentially an Amsterdam coffee shop
Oh,
bar? So you've
You've
got your
elevated it.
selections. You can have whatever you want from there. You can have the dabs, you can have, there's a range of bongs, there's your standard pre-rolled,
Damn.
whatever you want, but obviously that is yours for the evening to just help yourself whenever you and your mates want it.
That is, yeah, mate, you've elevated it. I didn't
There you
think
go.
Mooney's could get much better, but it's up there now. It was sick because it was like so you go in and there's the pub and it's like proper classic British pub, just like paint stripping off the walls and shit and just like old as fuck couches and that. So it was like, it looked proper like Essex when you go in, but then they just had like some fucking sketchy wooden back room and that's where the gigs were. So you had like a nice little blend of the two. So yeah, dude, if it was like you go into the pub and we just mix some of that British culture with some of the Amsterdam culture, bro, you have a 10 out of 10 establishment that the British taxpayer would be more than happy to accommodate, I'm sure.
100%, 100%. I'm, the day that they legalize it over here properly is the day that I think I'll probably be going into that kind of business. Um, I have to convince my partner, Hannah. We'll make it buck, like, it'll be a good laugh. Um,
Do a little Walter White situation.
exactly, exactly, yeah, yeah, but legal this time, like
Yeah.
okay, cool, so we've set the scene quite nicely there. We've got Moonies, we've got your mates, we've got a little pub slash coffee shop going on out in the kind of foyer area of the pub of Moonies. Before
Wait,
we
wait,
go in,
wait. Just 1 second, 1 second. Before we do the next one,
go on,
I'm adding one more person to the group,
do it.
and that person is Mr. Louis Theroux. Because I I would just love to see I would love I just wish there was a Louis Theroux documentary on like the UK emo scene at that time. It was like one of his like weird weekends. I would just love to have seen him go around to like the old school like UK scene, like all the old venues and that. Cause mate, it was such a weird, like magical time of all these like random people existing together. And it was like, I look back on it and it was like, yeah, we had like hippies and indie kids and goths and all this. And it was like, yeah, mate, it would have been a weird weekend. So I got
100%.
the
Okay,
boys and
yeah,
we got Louis. Also, just so it's documented, just so we can look back and like, I would just love to watch it. Cause there is, bro, this is pre MySpace even. There's no documentation of this time that exists anywhere. So Louis is getting added to the group as well.
I love that. Okay, on the subject of Lou, very quickly and a little bit off topic, have you watched Manosphere?
hmm
What are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
the missus and I sat down and watched it the other night. I thought it was really good. I hear a lot of the criticism of it that like he didn't really tell us anything that we don't already know. But I think we need to remember that a lot of us are chronically online and we see a lot of that stuff already. But there are so many people like just watching my girlfriend's face during it was just like, who the fuck are these guys? Like, what are they on about? Like, so yeah, there's bare people that don't know these guys. So I think Louis did a good job. And this was his sassiest. Like, he was proper just like giving it back. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good watch.
Yeah, 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 definitely. I same thing. I sat with my missus and watched it, and I just very much left it thinking that HS Tiki Toki is a fucking bellend. So like,
If we didn't
that was my
already think
main
that before,
exactly.
it
Well, yeah,
cemented that for sure. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, all of them, bro. Like, it's like someone asked me the other day, like how well I'm dealing with like hate comments and stuff and all this online. It's because it's those kind of guys, I think, and it's the same mentality of like, I don't care what this does to you or does to society or whatever. I'm just trying to make my bag or do whatever. I can say whatever and do whatever I want. And these are all scared little boys, bro. Like they're all like all of them are just when you actually like I've developed this new skill of just like looking into people's soul and just really just like getting to the core of a person. It's very
Mm,
good to do with celebrities and like if you're a young band in the music industry and you're trying to break through and trying to talk to artists and stuff, like don't look at them as like, oh, that's the singer I've been listening to, like da da da. Just go up to them and just chat and just be like, that's you, he's the same bro that listened to a bunch of records when they were a kid and then they've just grown up and now they're in a big band.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
like not everyone like bro, like so many of the artists that I've just chatted to, they've been so calm, they just been so cool. Man, like Wheatus, I need to give them their flowers really quickly because they're just like good friends of mine who have just been so chill for so long and like they've been reposting like my new TikToks for my new single and it's just helping it like blow up and I'm like, they don't need to do that. Like they've been like killing it for time and just to have that like respect for me as like a young artist, like it's mental. So a lot of artists are just passionate musician people and when you look into their soul and see that, it's beautiful. But then on the flip side, when you look into people like HS Tiki Toki and Myron Gaines and Andrew Tate and people, like you really just see a scared little boy who has no talent, has no passion, has no love in their life, has no genuine like admiration from people. Like, because when your whole thing is like, ah, I fuck with you because of how much money you've made, and
yeah.
it's like that doesn't mean that that means nothing. That means absolutely nothing. Like you've done nothing to accumulate that has added any value to the world. And they know that. And anytime someone comes into their world and challenges that, they freak out, bro. They do not know how to handle it. And like more interesting than HS was when he was with Myron
Mm,
and Louis was like, "Well, I want to talk to the girlfriend. I want to hear what she has to say." Or even the woman that was doing like she was in like the other room somewhere in the other side of the studio and he was like, "Hey, stop this conversation now." It was like, "Okay, so bro, if you come to my thing, like you can talk to anyone in my circle. Like we are cool. Like there is no hiding, there is no like secrecy. But if you have something that is just hinged on bullshit, then yeah, you're gonna protect it and be scared of it. So when you see that, I'm just like, oh, okay. Like I think Louis done a very good job of highlighting also, I think women see things that we don't see a lot. And I think they can really see. I think this was a good documentary for a lot of the women out there who are scared that the men in their lives are consuming this content and may go down that like red pill road. I think
yeah.
it was good for them just to see this is a bullshit message. This isn't serious. Like this ain't gonna stick around. This ain't a philosophy that's gonna stand the test of time.
No, agreed, agreed. And you saw it like Myron's face when he had his missus in front of him and Louis was pressing her about like, how do you actually feel about this? He was scared. You could see it on his face. He was scared
You
because he
saw the
knew.
fear.
Yeah.
Scared
Um,
little boys.
yeah, exactly. I have to also give a huge, huge shout out to Weus. You won't know this because it didn't, it hasn't surfaced at all. But in 2021, I came up with this idea for this podcast, and the first person I ever, well, the first people I ever interviewed was Matt and Brendan from Weus.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and it was back when I was in my bedroom, and it was just me with some headphones, a little hat, and it was a dark room, and there was just like one picture of the logo behind me, nothing else. They were so lovely and just put up
Mm.
with it like this half-boiled idea, and I never released it because, like, I was just like, "Okay," they gave me the confidence to be like, "This could be so much more," and then, like, look, 5
Mm.
years later, here I am, season 3, I've interviewed, like, I think the collective audience of everyone I've interviewed is over 10 million people in terms of
That's
followers on
wild,
Instagram
bro.
alone. And the confidence came from people like them. So,
Mm.
guys, thank you
Are
so
you
much.
gonna wait, are you gonna put it out now?
What I've always told myself is when I start my Patreon, I'll put it out because
Hell
I
yeah.
it, it's a little bit different the format. I really went through a process of refining the whole show and making it something completely different. So I've got it and it's banked. It's not a video, it is a video podcast. I think it's just an audio podcast. So I think I'd just release it on there
As
for
like a
free.
special.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little like, and I would love to get them back on, but also I'm aware that they are horrendously busy at the moment with touring and everything. So
Oh, they are. We just saw them a few weeks ago in Melbourne. They came through and man, they still put on a good show, man. They still, and there's just still the loveliest people. Like I was like, I don't know. You just think people like that, like they won't remember you or they'll be too busy for you, but nah, they weren't, man. They're absolutely lovely. And yeah, like you say, just big respect and admiration for that band of just being like very open, humble, and respectful. So like the vibe with them when we got like close, I was on tour with them and Busted and Emma Blackery in 2016.
nice.
And so it was like we opened up and then it was then it was Wheatus and then Busted. Um so immediately like bro, like that jump from from going from Mooney's to Wembley Arena, it's a bit of a step up. So like,
Love it, yeah.
bruv, we just got there and we were just like, what is all this? Like, this is crazy. But immediately Wheatus were there just to like, bro, like their guitar tech was like, hey man, do you want me to set up your amp? Like, do you want me to like have it like hooked up? I'll tune it, set it up and all that.
Nice.
And then like just their whole crew, like everyone was just sweet. Like the photographer, the whole band, like all the backup singers, everyone like just it was just like a nice little family that we traveled around with and like went on their bus for a few days and we hung out in Hitchin of all places.
Nice.
'Cause they had a show at Club 85, another historical venue in the UK scene. Um but yeah, I just remember just hanging around with them and just like chilling and just like just getting bare advice, man. And just like so many good takeaways that are just gonna live with me forever. Um, and that's what I'm saying. You don't ask, you don't get. You're in a position with these kind of people, mate, even if it's just you see them in the street or just like before a show or something, just I think there's so much knowledge from these artists that young bands I think need to listen to and need to it's all out there to get, but I think a lot of them you'll be surprised are very very open to talking about that. The ones that are passionate, and I think you'll see the ones that have stuck around like they have. So I don't doubt that that is a very good podcast you've done with them. So I'm looking forward to hearing it when you do actually end up
I
dropping it.
can send it to you. I've got a private link on SoundCloud to it, so I'll send you that so you can have a
Hell
little look.
yeah, man.
Um,
Just knowing Brendan and knowing Matt, like just talking about music, like yeah, I know that would be a very good conversation.
it was like start of COVID as well, so like Matt tailored his whole thing to like essentially the bands that he missed for seeing
That's
because
it.
they cancelled the gigs and stuff. So it
Yeah.
was just yeah, like spot on. And okay, mate, yeah, lovely band. We love you. Um, this I've been waiting for this question to pop up on my screen because I knew that I've written it in here, but I didn't know that you would talk about it early on. Um, what's your WWE walkout song if you were a superstar?
Oh, damn. Fuck. What do I can't pick one of my own, can I?
You
That's
you
nah,
very
that's
much can. I would,
I mean,
mate,
look.
if I had bangers, I would 100%, like, if you want a ton of, like, Animal I've Become by 3 Days Grace, like, back in the is it 2011 WWE game,
Mm,
like, something like that, then 100% if I
like,
had something like that.
look, the Bad Bunny route is still on the table.
Nice.
I'm like, yeah, he comes out to his own stuff. He reps his own vibes. So I'm like, that is still a goal for me out there. But I don't wanna impose on your question just because like I'm not a WWE guy right now. Just I don't really watch it's just feeling very like McDonald's-ish at the moment. They're just
It's gone
like
that way massively.
yeah, it's very sloppy at the minute. But for nostalgic historical reasons. Oh no. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm entering WWE right now, and my gimmick is I am like the nostalgic wrestler. So everything I do is going to be catered to that Attitude Era, Invasion Era, like fan group. And I'm
Nice.
going to be like, yeah, we need to take this shit back. So my entrance music is going to be like the raw 2001 music, like the move to the music, play that fucking music. I'm going to
Love it.
come out to that because that's going to make everyone pop every night. And then my move set is just gonna be like stunners and rock bottoms and swanton
Yes.
bombs and shit. Like, it's not gonna make any sense, but it's just gonna be like, yeah, we're just gonna be throwing it back. And every week I'm gonna come out with like a different homage, like the way Seth Rollins will do like an anime inspired like thing. My costume's gonna be like Stone Cold inspired or like rock inspired or something. Like, yeah, that's my whole thing. So my
Love that.
entrance music is gonna be, if I can remember the name, Across the Nation by the Union Underground.
Nice. Nice. Okay. I fucking love that idea, by the way. WWE, anyone from WWE, not that you're watching, but if you are, that could be a really fucking, like, fun
You
route.
say that, you say that, but I look, this is a long-term plan. I have I have a route to the WWE that is currently in play. So as a musician, I'm like, as a musician that wrestles, I'm like, the ankle injury is slowing down the wrestling side right now. So we're not
Yeah.
doing. My ultimate dream is just like Chris Jericho, where just like Monday to Wednesday I'm a pro wrestler, and then we're doing we're making music the rest of the week. That would be
Love
sick.
that.
But I currently have music in TNA um, and New Japan, and there was someone in AEW, but we are currently in negotiations, but that will come in time, hopefully. But I'm yeah. Actually, massive shout out to Danny Luna right now. Amazing wrestler in TNA, killing it. She's gonna be world champion so soon. I know it. But yeah, I did her entrance music a few months back. 'Cause she was like turning heel, going a bit darker, getting a bit
Nice.
gnarlier. So yeah, man, I put down some crazy riffs for her. Um, but hey, the way things are going, the TNA champion often pops up in the Royal Rumble, NXT, this and that. So ultimately, look, let's be real. What I'm chasing is the Netflix royalty check.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
gonna be sweet when that comes through. But at the same time, I just love seeing Danny progress. And I don't know her career plans, but if she does go to WWE, fucking yeah, amazing for her. But yeah, she's smashing it right now in TNA. So it's just been sick watching that, watching TNA again after so long has been dope. And just like just wrestling in general, man. Like even if it's not WWE, I just love the fact that my music is out there in the wrestling scene, just kind of doing its thing as well. It just makes me connected to
Yeah.
that
I love
side of
that.
stuff too.
Amazing. Yeah, mate. Fuck it. Yeah, go for it. That's sick. Um, well, someone from WWE might be watching then. Well,
They might
if
be.
you
There's
are,
a couple. there's a few that follow me.
There you go.
So like, yeah,
If you are, then like nostalgia's fucking big at the moment. So maybe lean into Walwin's idea. Like it's a big thing. Right, I want to play a game with you. Just a quick game, nothing
let's do
too
one.
taxing. Before we get into your first act, because I'm quite aware I'm taking up a lot of your time. Um,
You
so
are
this
good,
one
my
is
guy.
called. Sorry, mate. Say that again.
I say no, you're all good. We are good for time.
Cool, cool. Okay, cool. So this
I've cleared
game
the
is
schedule for you.
my man. That's what I like to hear. Um, this game is called Rogue Rockstar Riders.
Ooh.
So the premise is you are headlining your biggest show to date. The promoter has come up to you and just said, "I want your rider, and you can have anything you want." So I'm going to give you categories, and then I need you to pick 2 items per category. Okay.
All right, let's go.
So let's start with drink.
Drink. We are going with freshly pressed apple juice because there is
Okay.
nothing better. Um, and do you know what? Just for some nostalgia's sake, we're going with some KA grape soda,
Amazing.
standard
Okay.
corner shop vibes.
Love that. Love that. Okay. So KA and freshly pressed apple juice. Um, talk to me about food.
Wings all day, bro.
Wings.
Wings, deep fried. We got some special fried rice on there. We got some jollof rice on there,
Nice.
100%.
Nice.
Uh, we'll throw some plantains in. We got to add some finger foods. Um, I mean, look, it's a gig, so we're trying to keep light, keep on our feet. So we'll have some salads there out for the respectable people. Um,
Fair enough.
but yeah, if we're indulging, I will throw some cinnamon buns in there as well because
Fuck yeah.
that is a classic. But yeah, we're having a good time. We're having a good time for sure. But yeah, just heaps of wings. Oh mate, nothing better than if I finish a gig and then you come back and there's just yeah, it's solid. It's
A
solid.
little mountain
Yeah,
of wings, like waiting for you. I love that.
100%.
Okay, next category, luxury items. So think massage therapist, like personal barber, gaming lounge, that kind of deal.
Ooh, now you said gaming lounge. PS5, EAFC, let's go.
Nice.
I'm having that set up. I mean, I should just have that anyway. Like I said, I don't really do a lot of gigs, but next time I do, I'm taking the PlayStation for sure.
Nice.
Um, we got that. Do you know what? I guess a luxury item because it'll be expensive to do. But in Ed Sheeran's documentary, he had a little room set up for Benny Blanco backstage. So he literally come off stage and then just start making a track with Benny straight away. So yeah, I just have Benny Blanco just sitting in the closet, just making bangers, and then I come back and just like just cooking beats, just cooking hits, and then yeah, just go rock a show. So I'd say Benny Blanco counts as a luxury item.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, love that. And then finally, I need 3 diva items from you, like full on diva. Let's think Mariah
Oh.
Carey, the white doves, the fluffy carpet, that kind of deal.
Um, I'd say what's diva-ish? I don't. Do we have a pool? Yeah, I mean a little pool jacuzzi situation, the
Nice. Yeah,
relaxation vibes. We love a good sauna.
personal spa area, basically, yeah?
Yeah. And
Nice,
then just because you inspired me earlier, we're gonna have a nice little rolling station, some nice little
nice.
herbals, like that kind of thing. One of them, nah, like an actual dispensary doctor, like an actual like medicinal. Because the one thing I loved about the States when I went was it was proper like like a clinic, but like a fun clinic. He was like, "Hey man, what do you do? Like, oh, you're a writer. Yeah, here's this for like this is gonna open up your
Oh, I love
creativity.
that.
Like this is gonna put you to sleep. Like this is gonna buzz you up, like kind of stuff." So literally someone there to be like, "Here you go, you're about to get on stage, have that." Then, "Hey man, you come off stage, let me bring you down, have some of that." Like
So what are your
that's
thoughts on me throwing 3 people backstage to essentially roll joints for you? I'm going
as
Wiz
we
Khali
just go through the arena, there's just people. Nah, I mean, no, I still have to roll myself. Like I
That's
said,
fair,
it's just a very
and just people to hang out with that smoke. How about that? So I'm going Seth Rogen, Wiz Khalifa, and Snoop Dogg for you. Just throw them backstage. Let them be back in the green room, chilling.
so Seth Rogen is in my dream blunt rotation. He is in there. Snoop Dogg, I don't really fuck with. Wiz, I don't know too much about, but he seems chill.
Look,
Um,
you've got a dream blunt rotation, so let's focus on that. Like that.
so yeah, it's me, Seth Rogen, and Donald Glover, Childish Gambino.
Oh fuck
It's
yeah.
just
Okay.
us.
Okay.
It's just us chopping it up. And if we can introduce the non-living, George Carlin's gonna be there as well. Just
Beautiful.
because
Yeah.
that's just
Brilliant.
like that's just a conversation I want to have. Um, but I don't know if you know this guy is a comedian called Josh Johnson. He was in there, but he said recently he doesn't smoke. So I was like, oh, okay, respectfully, he's out of the circle. But he would be. He'd be a very good person to talk to also.
He could just be in the green room in the spa area chilling out.
Yeah,
He
he's
doesn't
just
need
hanging. He's
smoking.
hanging about. Yeah,
I love that. Okay, awesome. Well, that's your rogue rock star rider. Um, well, and we're finally on to the first act of your dream gig.
love it.
So, without any further ado, would you like to tell me who is opening your dream concert?
Opening my dream concert is Mayday Parade.
Yeah, they are. Okay. Are you aware that we've had Brooks on?
I saw that. I saw the clip on TikTok. I've not seen the whole episode. I'm gonna do that as soon as we get off because,
I'm
man, I
gonna
want
be
to hear
real
that
with you, mate.
conversation.
It was he's a lovely guy. It was very much a press. Like it was early doors for us, and I don't
Yeah,
expect
yeah.
people like that big to really be focused in on what we do. Um, love like absolute lovely guy. It was to promote, by the way, and that kind of whole
Tune.
album. They're like I will say this, one of the tightest bands I think I've ever seen live. Like they
100%.
they did the Lessons in Romantics tour, and I
Mhm.
saw them down in Brighton at the Concorde 2, and it was one of the best
Nice.
gigs of my life.
I saw the London date of that tour. HMV Apollo or whatever it's called now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, amazing. Yeah. Actually, wait. Let me gas you up for 1 second. I had a very cool chat with Zach Zach Mount and Kenneth Odom. No, I'm getting their names apart. Kenneth Mount and Zach Odom. Jesus
Yeah, yeah.
Christ. The producers of Lesson Romantics, and they've done like By the Way and all the new stuff as well. Um, yeah, man, we had a really cool conversation, and those guys just like, man, I've looked up to them for so long and just tried to like imitate their sound, I guess, and just like I think it went past Mayday Parade. It was just like, how do the drums sound that way and how do the guitars and everything? So yeah, we had a really good chat. They're really big fans of the new stuff, and that just
Nice.
gave me like such a sick boost because I was already at a point where I was like, I love it. I love everything I'm writing right now. But then it's just that scary point of like putting it out into the world, seeing what people think of it. Um, but for those guys to just give me their time and just really fuck with it, like God, we spoke for like 2 hours and I had so many like nerdy Mayday Parade questions. I was like, okay, so when you recorded fucking Walk on Water or Drown, I'm just like asking all this shit. And they were just so cool. Um, so that was sick to have. their validation as the people behind every Mayday Parade song I've loved
Yeah, yeah.
to turn around and be like, "Yeah, we see what you're doing. It's sounding fire." Like, so I would love to work with those guys. Yeah, we're figuring it out. It would just be sick just
That'd be
to
class.
have that full circle a little bit. But yeah, man, Mayday Parade, that band, I, like, uh, I don't want them to open up, but someone's got to open up. But they're like, they headline any dream thing that I can think of. But yeah, it's them, man. They just songwriting wise, like you say, performance wise, I've never seen an off Mayday performance. They're just it, man. They just got it, and I just feel like
Yeah.
they're one of them bands in the scene that never got their proper flowers, like true, like respect, really. But I don't know. Yeah, it's them. They're in my dream show.
Mate, I fully agree. I actually remember from your Clean Bandit video, your poster that was on your wall, the Mayday poster you had.
Oh, dude, yeah. I had that for so long. I think my mate Bruno has it. I gave it to him. I don't know if he still has it. Um, but yeah, that was sick. I loved having that up in the room.
I love Mayday. Got to have Mayday on there. And look, let's not call them an opener. Let's call them the first act of the evening because we don't
Yeah,
have to do it in like some sort of weird chronological order, which means that we're determining size. Like Mayday are fucking huge. Me and you both
they're
love
on it.
them. What's their encore song?
Encore song. It's got to be Three Cheers for 5 years. It has to be.
Nice,
It's
nice.
got to be
Okay.
that one, just because it's like I don't know. I don't know if I've ever broken up with someone and then not listened to that song instantly.
That's my intro to Mayday because the pop goes acoustic, punk goes acoustic album. That was the intro
Yeah.
to Mayday to me. So, um, me and my co-host, huge fans of it, and we jam that out all the time. Obviously, we're both musicians as well. We both went to music uni. Um, and yeah, that's our go-to to like have a little sing along with each other and stuff. So yeah, I
Wait, what
feel that.
music uni did you go to?
BIM in Brighton.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I went to ACM, if you know that one.
Yeah, yeah, Guildford. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
nice.
Sucked.
Mate, to be fair, I do I say this on the pod? Yeah, fuck it. I so I walked away with a 2-2 in my degree, but
Same.
that is only because it got to the very last part where you're writing your dissertation, right? And I got called into a meeting. They're like, we've noticed you haven't ever turned up to this class. Why?" I was like, "Because you fucking crossed it off my timetable before I like at the beginning of the year. So why the fuck would I go there? Like you've told me it's not me. Like you've given us timetables that have classes that we aren't meant to go on. You've crossed that one off for me, told me not to go, and now you're telling me that I'm gonna fail that." And
That's
like I
wild.
remember I had like some of the teachers, and obviously all the teachers are ex people in the industry and
Yeah.
musicians and shit, and I had like John Stewart from some band that has reformed recently, telling me like, "Obviously this is on you." It's like, "No, it fucking isn't." Like, it's firmly not on me. But yeah, man, like, been
I think it's a very hard thing to teach. I think any creative industry is moving so like, bro, if you're how do you apply for how does BIM continue when things like Suno and all this AI shit exist?
yeah,
Like how do you then
know who's
have to
creating
sit a
what.
kid down in the classroom and be like, okay, well, this is a mixing desk. And for some reason, you need to know how to use this. Like, they're not quick enough to engage because they're still beholden to the school system, which is a rigid institution that moves very, very slowly.
Yeah,
And
agree.
that was my only gripe with ACM and any of them other unis, was that the facilities were there and they were sick. And not to gas myself up, but if I wasn't who I was, it would have destroyed me. And I think I would have never touched music again. I
Yeah.
had a lecturer say to me, we had a class where we just brought in a song. It was like the songwriting section of the course, and you had to bring in a song that you'd written, and then the class would critique it, and the lecturer gave his notes and that. And he was like, "Yeah, no, this isn't a hit. Like, there's no hook, da 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 da, like nothing. Just like basically said it was just like mid. Tell me why this is the song that was on Radio One. That was like track of the week, Fern Cotton gassing it up, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
If I
yeah.
was the sort of person that listened to everything my lecturer said and got discouraged and everything, I just had that thing where I was just like, I've just always been just like a fuck you kind of guy. Like, if there is fun to be like, we're going. Like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put out the music that I want to do, and just there was so much there that wasn't kind of. I'm not to say that uni should just be things handed to you on a plate, but it was, like you say, completely just taken away from me or like put behind the wall. And if I wasn't the sort of person that likes to go around the wall, then it just honestly it would have been a complete waste of time. But I loved ACM for like the contacts that I made, the access to like the facilities, the studio, everything. But just ultimately teaching something that is inherently subjective, I just think is impossible.
Yeah.
Like I hate to give credence to any of the stuff that I'm sure both of our parents would have said. But I'm like, yeah, I should have done something like maths or English that does, or law that doesn't change, that is just you learn it and then that is it. And then like medicine, like, yeah, you just go, you become a doctor, cool. They come out with some new things every now and again, but ultimately, like, science is science, innit? But
Yeah.
music, like I said, like, you told me the song was dog shit, but then 10 million people on Radio 1 are like requesting it. So you're like, who's right? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? So
Yeah.
I just said it the uni doesn't suck. Like, I'm sure BIM slaps and like it's produced so many great people, but yeah, I think it's more about kind of what it was just a stepping stone. It was just a little platform.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I always saw it as like, especially afterwards, I was like, okay, well, that was just like 4 years of decent networking, basically. And
100%. Yeah.
like that's kind of it. Just quickly, did you am I right in thinking that you did something with Tom Odell?
I supported him at a festival.
Oh, okay.
Um, Brownstock. Yeah, Brownstock 2013. Uh, yeah, it was just like this huge festival in Essex, and I was somewhere on the lineup. And yeah, Tom Odell was headlining, but nah, I never met the dude.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, yeah, I thought I'd ask just 'cause I think in my research it mentioned Tom Odell against your name on it, and he was in class with me. So I was like, that kind
Oh,
of
no
year.
way. Cool.
Yeah. But fuck him. He got famous and I didn't, and I'm doing a podcast. So, you know, no, Tom, I don't mean it, mate. Sorry. Sorry, Tom.
No, 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 no.
Um,
He's calm. He's calm.
right. Before we go into your second act of the evening, Walwin, I wanna get you to build a super group. So I need three
Damn.
musicians from anywhere in history. So they could be dead or alive. But I need to know
Ooh,
who is in your super group, your trio. Um, and yeah,
this is
hit
rough.
me with some.
Damn, I didn't know this one was coming. Okay. What are we doing? Super group, drummer. has to be Zach Farrow.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Bringing that
No, I
Paramore vibe
know.
in.
Yeah. No. Fuck. This is hard. All right. No. Scratch it. Um, Drummer is Jake Bundrick.
Okay. Nice.
Um, he, he only beat Zach. I think drummer wise, they're both my favorite drummer, but I think Jake edges out on the vocals.
Fair.
I love Jake's voice. Like, yeah, he's solid. So I want him in the band. Um, on bass, who are we having? Who's got that tone? Man, I really need to pay attention to bass players more. Ah, no, do you know what? Just for lols, we're gonna have the bass player from Dirty Loops. Do you know that band?
I don't know.
They're this crazy YouTube, like, it's like prog funk, just gnarliness, just like, like Polyphia, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like Polyphia, but funky, just mad.
Okay.
He has like a 8-string bass and he's crazy. Um, just if you have in the band, then the bass is covered. Like you're just good. You're good.
Sorted.
Um, and then guitars. Do you know what? Guitars, we're having Josh Rez. Josh Rez on guitars,
Nice.
bro. Let's
Okay.
go.
Go on, Josh. Getting in the super
It's
group. Love
just
that.
I just think, yeah, that's mad. And then wait, am I on vocals? Yeah, are we just? Oh,
Yeah, we'll throw you
is
on. Yeah,
was that the?
100%, mate. Yeah.
All right, cool. If that's the vibe, then I don't know. I just think the four of us, just a
I love that.
wild, gnarly combination. So I don't
What
know
are you
what
calling
genre
the
that's
group?
gonna be. I suck at band names, bro. Like my artist name is literally just my name. Like I just actually no. Do you know what? So actually, and then a slight plug to my secret side project. You know how like you're gonna have your Patreon for the episodes that don't quite fit in. My
Yeah.
Spotify for the songs that don't. They're not necessarily Walwin, but they're not shit. They're just not. They don't fit. So if you go on Spotify or Apple, I have like bare songs under the slow count and they're unreleased Walwyn songs and like old songs from like old bands and stuff and just songs that I still think are good and that people want to listen to and yeah, but they just don't fit on my page. So yeah, I'd get those guys in the slow count and we'd actually make some new original shit.
Nice. Okay. I love that. I love that. Okay, cool. So just to let you know as well, with every episode we do, um, obviously me and you have talked a lot about different bands, different songs. I actually build a Spotify playlist to release at the same time as the episode, and it's every song that we mention throughout the whole episode. So you'll
Fire.
have a full playlist of everything we've ever mentioned in this episode. And
Nice.
I'm just gonna mention one more song just to give you an idea, just so it gets thrown in there because I do it on everyone. So like if I talk about Crazy Frog, then that ends up on the playlist. Um, so,
Sick. Sick.
okay, we're on to the second act of the evening. So we've got Mayday. Let's talk about who is coming on next.
So I read that fictional bands are also allowed.
Yes, that is correct.
So if that is the case, we're gonna have well yeah, it's a band, but it's an artist. The second band is Lestat from the movie Queen of the Damned.
Okay, amazing. Okay,
Have you seen it?
I'm trying. I think I have. I don't know. I don't recall the name Lestat. Like,
If you've not seen it recently, bro, like, in fact, everyone, if what I'm saying doesn't ring any bells, go back, watched this. It's probably the greatest piece of cinema for an alternative music fan. So let me set the scene. It's based on an Anne Rice novel, and this vampire, because vampires have to sleep for a long time in it, so he was like, okay, I'm done with the world, I'm going to bed. He slept for 200 years, and what woke him up was he heard this band jamming in his old mansion. So he woke up and he's like, hey, I'm not gonna eat you and stuff, just like be my band and then we can take over the world and turn everyone into the vampires and shit. I'm explaining the movie so rough, but it's basically a movie about a vampire that becomes a rock star so that he can awaken all the vampires and bring back the Queen of the Damned.
I've seen
And
them.
the
Yeah.
soundtrack is written by Jonathan Davies of Korn, and he does the voice of Lestat, and you've got Chester Bennington and Static X, and there's a scene that pretty much every like hot goth girl on Instagram is just obsessed with this scene, and the Lestat and the Queen of the Damned have this sex scene, and the soundtrack is Change by Deftones, and they're in this bathtub with the rose petals, and it's like, yeah, it's very romantic, it's very cinematic, but just the movie as a whole and the music in it is insane. And it's the band itself, it's basically it just sounds like Korn and a bunch of their mates just making bangers.
Nice.
And I think the soundtrack is on Spotify. So yeah, check it out. The artist is Lestat, and there's an annoyingly, right. And I know, sorry, I'm breaking your format. I know you're gonna ask me what the encore song is, and the song, annoyingly, my favorite one is with David Draymond from Disturbed singing like Lestat's vocals, and I just hate him. I think he's a prick. But the song is it's the best song. It's a song called Forsaken. But yeah, yeah, Lestat singing Forsaken and just the whole album, they
Okay,
gotta be on
look,
the show.
as it's your dream gig, like, we're gonna make sure that he's not singing it. I d you know
Let me jump in. I know, mate, I've been singing that song since I was 11 years old, so I'll jump in on the
okay, so,
encore.
like, they're calling you on stage. They're like, "Come, we need you, Walwin. Come and sing this one with us." Okay, sick. Amazing. Okay, so that's our second act for the, evening. I've got 2 very quick games to run through before we hit the headliner.
All
Um,
right, let's run it.
so the first game is called The Sacred Three. So you have to pick 1 song, 1 album, and 1
Ooh.
artist. Everything else in the world is erased.
Damn.
The artist, you get their whole catalog.
All right. Okay. Wait, one song, one album, one artist.
That's the one.
Oh damn. Wait, okay, let's go. The song. Oh, I'm not gonna. Am I gonna regret that? Oh, okay. No, 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 no. I need to get the artist's name right because I cannot pronounce it.
That's fair.
But I just found it recently, and it's just gone straight to the top. So the artist is called Loredana Birthday, and it's a song called Sei Bellissima, and it's this beautiful, powerful Italian ballad, and I've just been listening to it every morning, just like, man, I'm just like drinking a coffee in like Madrid, not Madrid, Milan.
I love that.
I'm a
Okay, cool.
geography expert. What the hell? Yeah, just like it's a beautiful song. I would listen to it every single day of my life. So that's the song. I think the album has to be. a lesson in romantics. It's just
It's a
it's a
good choice.
no skips album, man. It's
It is,
just from
man.
start to finish. It's just if we had to do that one, then yeah. And then the artist is easy. It's me. If
There
I'm
you
the
go.
only artist left, then that's it. We're good.
Amazing, and that's your sacred three. Amazing. Okay, so moving on swiftly, we're now going to do your death row set list. So,
Damn.
Walwin,
Okay.
you are on death row.
Damn.
I need three songs from you. The first song is a song for nostalgia. The second song, a song to rage out to, and your third
Mhm.
song, a song to go out peacefully, or your final encore.
Ooh. Uh. Oh, nostalgia. We're paying homage to the past, and we are. Oh man, damn. That's hard. What one are we gonna do? Are we having? Yeah, nah. It's got to be. It's got. Okay, yeah, yeah. Right, I've got it. I've got it. Um, for the sake of nostalgia, yeah, we're gonna do Three Cheers for 5 years.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to bring that one up again, but it's just such a. Also, it's a super long song
It
as
is. Yeah,
well,
yeah.
so we can just
It's a
we
good
can
one.
stretch
Yeah.
out the time. We can stretch out the time as much as we need to, um, and then something to rage out to. Uh, let's go with Chumbawamba.
Tub thumping.
Uh,
I love that.
it's just a fucking tune, man. Oh, get knocked down and I get up again.
Just
Oh, mate,
destroying
that's a beat.
yourself and like fucking
That
shit
is
up.
a beat. We are doing that. And then a song to go out to. Uh, I just have to end it on My Heart by Paramore.
Love
And the extended version where they go all spiritual and like go off on a journey. I love that one. I'd love to end it out that way. Beautiful.
nice. And there is your death row set list.
Damn.
We're here. We're at the headline act. So, without any further ado, Warwin, who have you got for me?
So look, I was thinking about this one and I have cheated slightly. So for the headliner, because it's at Mooney's, because it's nostalgic, because we're paying homage to not only Essex and not only the UK, but just like the scene at that time. The headliner is basically a free for all jam of all the musicians of that time. It is just, we're getting on stage and we're just doing each other's songs. Mate, I could rattle off a bunch of bands that no one's gonna have a fucking clue who they are, but like there were bands like My Own Enemy and Her Denial and Kenai and We Are the Ocean. You know those guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like even them bands and like just one night, just that scene to come together and just a remembrance of all of them songs that are just lost to time. They're not on Spotify. They're not even on SoundCloud. They're nowhere. They're on these dudes' hard drives like back in Essex and it's just been lost. It's lost media. Yeah, a celebration of lost media. That is what the event is called because none of these are just MySpace profiles that have just been lost, you know? So as a headliner, it is just a solid 2 hour set of songs that you're never going to hear again because they don't exist.
I love that. Okay, you're gonna have to help me out with something because normally, when it gets to this point, just before we talk about like the final encore, um, I do allow people to bring out an extra guest to perform a one-off song with the headline act.
Ooh, okay, okay, okay.
So with that with that new format for this headline show, how would you do that? Would it still be one person in particular that you bring out for a particular song?
Nah, do you know what I'm gonna do, yeah? What we're gonna do, the special guest is gonna be Chino from Deftones.
Okay, I love it.
Because and there's a reason to this. There is a reason to this. Like I said, I was just a few years behind some of like the people that originated the scene and some of the older bands that I got into. So I like Taking Back Sunday and Deftones, those are the bands I got into like later because the older guys are into them. What I didn't realize was how much of a chokehold Deftones had on my whole town. Like, I'm just looking back. Oh, there was like a band called like Minerva, and I was like, oh, that was a Deftones song. They named it after them, and I was like, and so many of them, they had like the pulled up socks and the 3/4 lengths and shit, and I just thought that was like their thing. And just the sound, like the chorusy guitars and all the like spacey singing and stuff. Like, basically, when I entered like the scene in like 2005, imagine there were like 30 bands in the local scene that you'd see at Mooney's, like, you know, once a week or whatever. At least 25 of them were just ripping off Deftones. Like, so me getting into Deftones was like, oh, this sounds like Essex bands. This sounds like all the old bands that like I've been trying to find their shit of. I was like, this is the granddad. This is the original. So I just love like Chino and the guys just to come and see what they've built and just see that
Amazing.
there's this weird town thousands of miles away from San Diego, wherever the fuck they're from, where they just influenced an entire scene of kids and probably had no idea that any of them bands ever existed. Um, so it would be cool to bring that full circle and see what they would make of it. I just think that would be insane.
I love that. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Deftones are coming to Mooney's just to watch. Huge. Okay, awesome. And then do we have like a final encore song, or is it just the amalgamation of songs that is the final encore?
We can go with one. We can go, and again, this is going to fuck up your playlist
Go on.
because this song isn't around. But I might have it somewhere. Fuck. But anyway, it's a song called Mrs. Red by My Own Enemy. And actually, this is sick because now I can throw this out to universe. And if anyone has this fucking song or knows the people in this band, then they can try and find it. But it just slapped. It just it was like the first emo like song that I got into. And I just remember them like they played it at like this like it was like this local library like gig night and it's like starts off all acoustic and then the end it like builds up and it's got like screaming and it's all distorted and stuff, and that's the first time I'd like seen someone do that in front of me. Like I'd seen bands on TV do it on Kerrang, but that was the first time I was like, oh, there's like people in my town that know how to make their guitars sound loud and shit. And like that guy can scream, like someone in Essex can scream, like that's mad. So it would be that. No, fuck, mate. I'm so sorry. I keep changing my answers. That's going to be one of them. Like, you know how bands do
We'll
that
have multiple
bullshit?
ones.
Oh, it's an
Yeah,
encore, and then they come back, and then they do another one. So that's
multiple
going to be
encore.
one. But one that you can put on the playlist is Faster the Chase by In Me, because they
Nice.
were that one band from our scene that like they got up there. I still don't think they have the flowers that they deserve. I think people need to gas up In Me even more. But Faster the Chase when I hear that song, it's 2004, it's back in Essex, and it's just like, wow, what is this? Like this is music. This is the shit that I love. So that's the massive encore. That's everyone knows that song. Everyone's gonna love that as like a final banger. So that's the one. That's the
I love
one.
that. I love that, and there it is. We've done it, mate. We've built your dream gig, and that is a huge dream gig in a tiny venue as well.
Mate,
Um,
I really love this gig, and it like, yeah, this podcast kind of sucks because now I'm like, I can't have that. Like, I can't like.
I know. Sorry, sorry. It's bittersweet, but I tell you what. But before you go, just to lighten the mood a little bit, um, what I always do is I like to do some what I call wild would you rather's. So I've got 8 quick
Hell yeah,
fire would you rather's. They're going to be quick fire. I just want you
let's
to
go.
pick
I'm
an
locked
answer out
in.
of them. And let's rattle through them nice and quick. So, would you rather play one sold out stadium show to 80,000 people, or a tiny club show to 100 fans who know your every word?
Tiny club show every day of the week. Yeah.
Love that. Okay, would you rather have one massive hit everyone knows, or be an artist other musicians say is their favorite but nobody else knows?
I am the artist that all the musicians know is their favorite. That is legit me. So,
Love
so
that.
actually,
Okay,
I'd rather have a hit so I can have some money and
experience
then
the
I can
both.
still be the guy that people know.
Done. Would you rather every time you go on stage, your jeans split right at the worst moment, or every time you sing a high note, a random firework goes off indoors? They get weirder.
Ah, fireworks for sure. Yeah, that sounds
Love that.
sick.
Okay. Would you rather every time you release a song, your mum comments, proud of you, X, on Instagram, uh, first in the comments, or a random bloke comments, sounds like Nickelback, but worse?
Ooh, I just so my mum can use Instagram more, I'm gonna pick the one just to get her on it because she has it and she has followers, but she doesn't know how to use the app. So, mum, comment more on my stuff.
Proud of you, kiss. Would you rather every time you pick up your guitar, it makes the Windows error sound, or every time you hit a power chord, you get an electric shock?
Ah, I've had that. I had a dodgy guitar that gave me electric shock, so the Windows error sound is just funny. So
Okay.
let's go with that.
Would you rather every time you take a sip of water on stage, the bottle say out loud, interesting clothing choice, or every time you finish a song, a voice from nowhere shouts, get on with it?
Think that happens anyway still. So, yeah, I'm gonna have my water bottle talk to me for
Yeah.
sure. That's cool.
Solid. Would you rather every time you try and sleep on a tour bus, someone whispers, sound check in 5 minutes? Even when there isn't one, or every time you sit down for an interview, the chair slowly spins on its own the whole time?
Um, fuck, I'm gonna take the voice. I'm gonna yeah, as horrible as it is, yeah, I can block it
And
out.
finally, would you rather every time you take a bite of a pizza, it says that chorus was actually pretty lame, or every time you take a sip of water, the bottle sighs and says, yeah, you're better than this, man?
Again, the talking water bottle.
Love
I like the encouragement.
that. There you go. Okay. Well, thank you so much, mate. Before you go, please let everyone know what you've got coming up, what you've got going on in your life. Let's tell the people. And for anyone watching, please go and follow Walwin online. He'll tell you his socials now.
I am Walwin.mp3 on Instagram and TikTok. Make Stacey Great Again comes out on the 3rd of April. It's gonna be fun. We are going on a fun journey. We got so many songs coming out this year. So yeah, just follow me on the socials because it's gonna be relentless. I don't stop. You're gonna see my face a lot. So yeah, hit the follow button. Plenty of content coming.
Amazing. Walwin, thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Will. Appreciate you, man.